And we are live. Cool. All right. Hello, YouTube. Hello, Facebook. Hello, everyone. Wherever you are, if you're watching this live or if you're watching this later. Here we are. Gabriel here. And hopefully you're all hearing me. And the guitar, especially. If you are there, let me know if you're hearing this, if you're hearing my guitar, if you hear my voice, if everything's working, because it's a lot of stuff to make this sound cool and live and and do all that. We need to learn so many things these days, right? Not only to play well, but do all this stuff. Bom dia, Renata. Facebook in there. Então tá funcionando, né? Ótimo. Sounds great. Jigs, hello. Hello, Renata. You know how cool this thing is now? I can actually get your comment here. Wow. See? Cool. Look at that. All right. Yeah, I can put all the comments here. Yeah, this is cool. It's a lot of work, but hopefully this will work now. All right, thanks for being here. And this morning we got Ento. All right, thanks for plugging in. Yeah, today we're gonna take a look at that beautiful classic Jobim song, Triste, right? We all know and love that one. And what I'm gonna try to do here, hopefully every Saturday morning, it's to be with you guys here and play and pick one tune and kind of work on it and work on it together and get your suggestions and your questions and hopefully talk a little bit about this thing that I do, this sort of method that I have to make these arrangements and things like that. So hopefully that will get you interested. All right, we got more people coming in. Massimo, ciao, grazie. Douglas, yeah, Rochester, New York. How's it going, my friends? I hope it's beautiful over there. It's beautiful here in beautiful Colorado as well. My friend Bala, there we go. Man, it's been a while. Glad to have you here finally in India. I don't know, hopefully it's not too late for you there, but yeah, so the idea is I'm gonna be more often here live and talking about guitar, Brazilian guitar, and showing a little bit of that system, basically the sambifying method, I guess, if I would call it. And every week we're gonna pick a tune to work on and talk about it. So this one is Triste, right? That's the one that we're gonna pick today to work on. I do have the charts here, but I still haven't figured out the whole thing to like put me aside, and I have like the cool thing over here on the side. I promise I'm gonna work on this. I'm just like starting on this thing here on this particular software. But it's cool when you can do it, and I will. Next week will be awesome. I'll be able to push me aside and then have like a PDF here so we can kind of see what's going on. But you all know Triste, right? Let's start by kind of taking a look at the overall lead sheet. But I'm gonna use Jobim. I'm sorry for my American friends. It's not in B flat. It's an A. And the rhythm of the melody is something like 1 and 2, 1. Something like that, right? So if you put just the chords to kind of take a look, would be. sorry. Cool. A few things about this melody, not only the melody but the harmony, that is quite different from the real book version that some people used to in B flat, in the melody and the harmony. And this is how it's supposed to be, by the way, right? The harmony, the melody at the end, and then so there's no anticipation on. There's a version there. There's a. It don't have the anticipation on the actual original chart. And also the harmony in the real book does something. We go to this F sharp minor, B7, which is inexistent in the actual version, Jobim version. It's we have this diminished chord that's nowhere to be found in other versions in America. In the real book, that's the chord. There's a diminished chord there that's very important to play. And then it's got this nice sus4, sus9, sus4, 9, and F, then sus4, flat 9. That's really cool. And then, please, for the love of God, don't do the montuno thing. Don't do that. That's some other stuff, you know. Just play the samba groove there, man. We usually, if you go for, you know, like a jam session in Brazil, or just play with like Brazilian jazz guys and stuff like that, that song has been played in certain ways, and it kind of become a little of a default when you play them. This one, you know, most people go for the F major here. They kind of go to that and then back to the tune. So that's great. I play like that too, you know. Put the F major in there instead of going to this. But, you know, you can do whatever you want at the end, but I'm here to show a version, right, that you can use. As far as harmonies, they're different than most people play also. Here we have going to the end, and then D major. Another common path that people take here is A minor, A7, and then come here. Instead of doing a 2-5 to B minor that goes to D, you just do the 2-5 to D, right? And then go here, right? That's a very common path in that part as well. And here comes my favorite that I play, and a lot of people play that way. And that's something that Jobim does a lot, and he didn't do in the original version of it, but a lot of people do that, is to use what I call the altered subdominant. That's a very common chord that you put there, especially in samba, bossa nova a little bit too. As part of what I call the samba cadence. But basically, you go into the 4. On this case, we are in A. A little bit of harmony here. Stick here, A major, and then we heading to D major, right? The 4 chord, which is a major chord and a major key, right? A major, so the 4 chord is D. The altered subdominant that I'm talking about is you altering the root of the chord, altering the root, so sharp 1. So instead of playing this way, you alter the root there, and there is, you have a minor 7 flat 5, aka half diminished chord. Instead of the major, you have this chord here, which is beautiful. And then you carry on with the minor 6 in the original one. So let me play both ways so you can see the harmonic difference there. So right, so I put D major here. Now I'm gonna put the outer subdominant. So that chord here, I love it. You can do this chord in so many of Jobim songs, meditation, a bunch of them. But that's a famous chord that comes up in progressions in samba a lot, and I talk about this quite a bit. I call samba cadence, not a cadence, but I call samba cadence, because sequence of chords that start with that chord. Tons of samba have that particular chord starting this sequence of chords. So this is one of the harmonies that you see around, people using a lot, but please play the diminished chord here, because it's beautiful. Either if you play D major or the half diminished version, please play the diminished chord, because it's really cool. That's the major 7, by the way. Of the chord. So that's another change that you see people using that chord. I do personally use all the time, which is awesome. You should too. When you play the theme the first time, a lot of people, when the tune restart, a lot of people use the diminish chord on the first chord, you know, A diminish, which is also really cool. So after you do people use that chord a lot. I do also. And then resolve back into A. So some people use sus. I do as well. You see, when you say a lot of people use it, it's like I use it, right? It's stuff that I use, but some of these I learned with other people. Some, you know, I heard somewhere or I did myself. So it's over there for the take, right? So instead of as a beginning, right? So repeat, you go sus, which is cool. That's another one. Here's one chord in the song that I played wrong my entire life, by the way. And then it's been, I don't know, maybe 5 years. I finally caught that I was playing this chord wrong, because I went to the source. It's this one here that most people play minor and it's actually major. And I was like, it's like I was playing wrong all these years. So tune, and then you go, here, that's C sharp. Most people play C sharp minor, but it's actually C sharp major. I played this my entire life wrong. So being 5 years that I'm like playing correctly and being, you know, a pain in the butt, people like, it's major, right? Because I was playing wrong and now I'm playing right. So, right? So, A minor 9 and minor 6, so you can do just basically the same chord, changing the bass, right? That's kind of the harmony that we see being different from what people usually think. And these are some edit things that diminish that you can do. And here are some other really cool ones that I learned from Herbie, the great Herbie Hancock, in the Joe Henderson recording that Joe Henderson plays always Jobim. There's a Triste version there, and Herbie came up with this really cool changes. I particularly also do those the second time. So it's instead of doing this, he does G sharp altered, G sus, F sharp 9, 9, 11, whatever number there, and then come back here. So let me put things in perspective here. So you have this one. I have that one. Then you have this. Let's go. And then you have Herbie's. So I always miss this melody too. So kind of give you an overview of put things in perspective. The actual Jobim chart, right? How different it is in this sort of towards the end from the B flat real book version. And that C diminished for me is really a big difference for me personally, you know. This one, I like this a lot. The sus at the end is cool too. It's really cool. We can do here. My guitar is getting out of tune because of the Colorado weather. I don't love my guitar doesn't love that dry weather. Cool. Alright, we got some more people in. Luvina, saludos de México. Thanks for being here. Gracias. Eu mesmo. Pô, é você mesmo, bicho. Obrigado por você estar aqui. People from Facebook, from YouTube. Great. So this is the harmony. Those are the different harmony things you can do on that song. And let's kind of take a look at the melody, because to make these things that I'm going to show, sometimes parts of the melody get on the way, and we will, you know, ask for Jobim's permission to jiggle things a little bit in order to have a groovy version. What happens to play solo guitar or make these arrangements? And that's an important thing. If you're writing something down, that's the time to write it down. The way we have access to these songs, it's lead sheet format, right? You have melody and chords written, right? That's kind of how we have access to them. All right, Shirley from South Africa, Cape Town. Thanks for being here, Shirley. So we have the chart with chords and melody. That's kind of how we have access to these songs, right? And most of the times, these melodies are pretty much showing or informing the lyrics, right? The rhythm of the notes are really tight with the lyrics of the song, right? That's particularly one reason that some of the American versions of these songs are played a bit off from the original Brazilian way of doing it, because the lyrics, in English version of the lyrics, change the rhythms of this stuff, right? And that's not good for us to play. And then people get used to, the real book version of that, which comes from whatever lyrics in English or whatever instrumental song. And then you have a conflict with the original melody, which was designed a certain way because the lyrics informed the way the melody goes. So, Triste is another example, right? Triste é viver na solidão. Right, that's the lyrics. And then you have this. Right, the melody goes that way. And most of the times, if you would sort of interpret that lead sheet, you should be taking that in account, meaning there's someone singing the lyrics and there is someone playing the harmony or something, right? Someone is singing or someone is playing and singing at the same time, right? That happens a lot. Bom dia, Reggie. Great to see you, my friend. Thanks for being here. Virginia Beach. So the fact that that's kind of how you should interpret the songs, like you should be playing yourself, right, and singing the lyrics, right? Triste viver na solidão, a dor cruel de uma paixão. I think that's how the lyric goes. So they are kind of like two different things. The lyrics and the guitar, usually someone else is playing, or either you accompany yourself or singing the lyrics. But when you are, and here's the point now, when you are making a guitar arrangement, you have to do everything, right? You have to play the melody, you have to play the groove, you have to play the chords, you have to play the bass, you have to do everything. And here's the approach that I am bringing. Luckily, you start getting some of that, is you have to make the melody work for you a little bit, work for the groove, and sometimes if the melody is disrupting a little bit the flow of the groove, I will alter the melody a little bit, the rhythm of it, So example of that particular beginning, if I read as it is, it will sound like this: 1, 2, 1, 2, and something like that, right? That's kind of how it's written. Hello from Montreal. Haha. Joseph, thanks for being here, brother. So you see that anticipation in the melody because of the Triste viver na solidão. So that melody is written this way because of the lyrics. If I am playing that in this guitar arranging, I will probably not have that anticipation and just start on the second beat. 1. I will play like this, like 1 and 2. I'll probably play like this instead of playing. I'll play. Right? Things like that. Those really fine-tuning things when you have a melody and you want to bring that to a guitar solo versions, you have to take these things into account. Another thing that I keep telling my students when they are assembling this stuff is the triplet is not our friend. Unfortunately, I love triplets, but to groove and samba, the triplet is not our friend. The triplet by design is supposed to give you that floaty, right, kind of upbeat, kind of over the top feel, and that's not good for a groove. When you want to keep that train going, I always refer as the train, right? It doesn't stop, because when you're playing this, this can't stop. At least the way I do it and the way I teach people, like. That's the train doesn't leave, it doesn't arrive to the station, just keep going. If you have a triplet, the triplet is not our friend. I'll show an example of, and I was telling this week for a student of mine who was working on a inútil paisagem, useless Landscape, another beautiful Jobim tune, which is like right, that beautiful song. If I'm playing in a samba fashion, bossa. The triplet already broke the whole thing. I can't physically perform this groove with that triplet. I have to stop the groove, you know. I can't. See, I can't do it. I can't play the groove and the triplet. So the triplet is supposed to get that effect, you know, this floaty thing. So here we have ba ti 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 ta. So I stop the groove, you know. So back to the groove, triplet. So see, it's designed for that. There is a way to overcome that. And that's what I teach my students as well. You have to replace the triplet for what I call the Brazilian syncopation figure. We will be talking about this figure a lot here on these lives, and some of my students who are here on this live, they already know what's up with that. It's basically the 16 note figure. Da 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 di da da da. So instead of playing di da di da da as a triplet, go dum ba di da da da. Listen how that particular spot becomes more going forward and moving with the groove if I substitute or replace the triplet for that. So one more time. You see, the train kept going. If I just do the triplet, I have to stop the groove and then replace that. So I'm saying all this because on Triste, you have a spot with triplets, and that's like, oof, that's not our friend there. So you go. That's the triplet, right? Triplets all the way. If I want to play the triplets, the groove is gonna go. It's just as simple as that. If I want to do you see, I had to let the groove go here, right? I can put a chord here and there. But ultimately, I have to stop the groove because I can't keep going, because the triplet has, by design, this feeling of floatiness, like this sort of flowing around. So it doesn't vibe with the groove. So you have to take the groove out, the samba thing. If you want to overcome that, you have to replace the triplet for that figure I was talking about. Replace the triplet for the 16/8/16 note instead of sta do bo di ba dum ba. Now you're gonna have ba da di da da da, and then you can tie them, right? Ba da di di dum ba, or something like that. Let me see if I can do that. See, I already can do it. I usually stop at that moment. I put a 16 note there as well, a sequence of 16 notes. So I can continue a certain movement, a sense of keep the groove going. That will be the effect. So that will be sort of the effect that I will get there if I play slow. triplet, you see that the triplet by design, gives you this kind of pullback feel. So that's a thing about Triste to take into account. The triplet there, replace that with the syncopation figure, helps the flow. So far we talked about the harmony, right? Possibilities, talk about the Jobim version, the original version. And chords, other possibilities to substitute things in there. I talk about the ultra subdominant here, sharp one there. We talk about diminish one here, sus, and then you talk about the Herbie. And he does, Joe Henderson recording. And then we start talking about the melody, right? How you have to get a read on these charts differently for as if you like accompanying singing or playing guitar, or someone is playing a flute or whatever. You are doing everything. So which means that the melody has some room there, I think, to some jiggle, some adjustment into the groove, the flow of this stuff, right? So I think this is a basic ideas for you to start looking at this tune. Now actually to start playing the melody and the chords and then everything. Then that comes the method, this thing that I teach, the sambafying that I call. Basically when you talk about playing charts like melody and harmony, you think in two layers. You think, okay, here's the melody, here's the chords, and then you try to figure out. The way I do it, the way I teach, the approach is a little different. So I am considering 3 layers instead of 2 layers. So what I call 3 layers is, instead of thinking of melody and harmony, I am thinking of 3 layers, like an upper layer, which most of the times takes care of the melody. I have the low layer, which usually the bottom layer, which usually the bass is there, isn't that layer? And then the middle layer, which has parts of the harmony of the chords, right? There are many notes of the chords, and or can have a counter melody. That's a space to make a comment there when the melody is resting, whatever. So the whole approach is trying to change the idea of 2 layers for 3 layers. And then the first step that I usually teach, then you can try that at home, is to be able to play the layers 1 and 3, the top layer and the bottom layer together. That's it, nothing else. That is the sort of the foundation, the skeleton, the framework in which you will start progressing with everything else later. Is be able to play the bass and the melody. So I will play the melody with the bass. Top layer and bottom layer is like 1, 2, 1, 2, That's it. You have to be able to do that. That's the foundation. That's the sort of the rug, right? The road in which you will walk through. It's basically learning how to play the melody and the bass, the low layer in this case. This will have all the sort of hard parts of the path. It's here, adjusting the melody to the bass and mechanically making that happening. That's one of the most challenging parts of playing the way, playing the solo guitar arrangement, right? So let me retune this real quick. If you guys have any questions, by the way, thus far, feel free to ask them. We're here to hang out and then have your questions answered. So if you're not following anything that I'm saying at the moment, don't be shy. Please ask. I will put your question here. We'll address them. But as I was saying, the performance of the top layer and the bottom layer is the key to get everything, to unlock, right, the mystery. So 1, 2. Let's put that particular spot here. That phrase, right? Okay, cool. I play that. I play the top layer and the bottom layer. Great, but it's still not sounding awesome. Here's a way to look at that. Now you're gonna see. Oh, thank you, Renata. Such a way to start. Yeah, you gotta start by that framework: melody, top, and bass. So now, here's another point. That's how we're gonna put the middle layer in, right? These particular songs, bossa nova, samba, and all those famous classics, right? The Brazilian songbook. The melody is very active, and what I mean by that is very syncopated, meaning there is enough information on those melodies to carry through the idea of a groove. So that's the sort of a cool part about this approach that I have and that I teach, is that the melody will be the groove at the end. You will see. You don't need to be thinking of the groove. If the melody is busy enough, active enough, the melody will carry, that will inform the groove. So if I have the harmony, right? A major 9, and then I'm using F major, and then I'm also using B flat 9 sharp 11 here. So that's the harmony that I am putting there, right? All right, hello from Singapore. Thanks for being here, brother. So let's put the middle layer now. What the middle layer will be is, the rest of the notes of the chord. If I'm doing, so I have this amount to play, right? This whatever is remaining on that is the chord. So I can use the chord to support the melody. So basically we'll be playing the chords with the same rhythm as the melody, and with the bass being foundational, right? So I'll play the top and the bottom, and then I'll put the chord in. See what happens. 1, 2. Now with the chord. 1, 2. One more time. 1 and 2. I haven't done anything different than I was doing here. I just did. It sounds that I am playing the groove, but I am not thinking of a groove. And that's the great thing about that system, is that the melody is pushing the groove. The melody is the groove. And that's really cool, because you didn't have to think of, what is the samba pattern or whatever. The melody is the groove, So what I'm doing here, let's kind of zoom in into what's happening here, slow. So you see that for a few spots that I'm playing the melody, I'm playing chord with the bass, then I did chord, then chord, right? Chord, 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 and chord here, when the melody is here, it's just one note that I'm adding to the middle, right? Chord, 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 chord. That's it. That's what I'm doing, right? Hello, my friend. Good to see you. Grazie. Thanks for being here, my friend. You see what I'm doing here? One, sa, chord, chord. That's it. That's the middle layer coming in to support the melody. But the framework, the foundation is the melody and the bass. That's it. Like ba-dum, ba-bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. And here I put the chord. That's it. Second phrase. That's it. That's it. So this is a very simple way of approaching these melodies, because the melody is active enough to carry enough rhythmic information so that you can use that in your favor. So the idea of this groove is not playing a groove at all. And that's the beauty of this system, right? The 3-layer system, the sambifying thing, as I call. And then there's a second element there that we can use here. It's a two-step approach. So when the melody is active, it will go with the melody. The melody informs the groove, right? Right? Same approach here. Bass and melody. Now with the middle layer. That's it. I'm not even playing the groove, and it works. It just works. A second point that is very important is not that we're not gonna play the groove at all. It's that most of the time these melodies are very active, which is most of the tune itself. Then we use their approach, which means the melody carrying the rhythmic information of the groove. That's important. But the melody is not intense and active all the time, right? So a melody rests, right? You have rest in the phrases. You have long notes in the melodies, right? And melodies that like get a little longer. In those moments, you'll bring the groove. And that's the perfect match, the perfect coupling of that 3-layer approach. Is when the melody is active, the melody carries the groove. When the melody is not there, the groove comes in. And by the groove, we can talk about the grooves, right? We have, in this case, I will show samba and bossa nova grooves, which is similar but a bit different. In this case, I'm using the samba groove for the way I'm doing this, which would be something like 1, 2, 1, 2. That's the samba groove. Cool. A lot of this stuff, samba grooves and things like that, it's all available at this Facebook group that I have. It's a free group that you can join. Some of you here in the live, you are there. But if you want to get some of these grooves, you have to go to my group, get in there. Let me show you the link so you can get in there. Let me see, where am I? Where am I? Where is the, oh, it's here. So you have to go here. to this group here, facebook.com/groups/Brazilian guitar, or just go to groups on Facebook and just like type this address. The name of the group is actually Brazilian Guitar, Contemporary Brazilian Guitar Mastery Group. That's the name of the group. But with this address, you'll get there. And then you have to get to answer a few questions that I ask you to basically see where you are and how long you've been playing, stuff like that. Then you get in. In this group, I post tons of content like that, like these grooves. I have PDFs and things like that you can practice. So you should go to this group. Don't miss that chance, because it's free, first of all, but it's a lot of great information there. But this samba groove that is there in the group is this 1 and 2 and da, so I'm using that particular groove as basis. So here's the melody. Here's the melody being long here, right? 1, dee da dee da dee da da da. Melody is long here, right? So what do? We bring the groove. So I'm gonna do that approach I just showed you, the 3-layer stuff, the melody carrying the rhythm, and when the melody is getting long, the groove is gonna take over. There you go. 1 and 2. Groove. Layer. Groove. You see how cool this is? It just works. It just works. Melody carrying the rhythm, and then melody rests or gets long, groove comes in. Again, 1 and 2. Groove. Groove. So you see, when the melody was long, the groove came in. That's it. Otherwise, the melody is just pushing the rhythm. I don't need to do anything, you know. Everything I played now, I was not thinking of groove. This is all the 3-layer approach. The melody is carrying the groove, and then all this was no groove involved, and then the groove comes in here only when the melody is long. Groove. Groove. Here, a little groove. Groove here. Back here, but you see that the groove is based out of the melody. The melody pushes the groove. It has enough information to carry the groove. If you work your foundation, as I said before, top layer and bottom layer, that's it. Just working this, the bass against the melody, that's what you need to work on if you want to start on this. Getting the 3-layer approach. You have to do it this way. So let me answer some other questions here. All right, have somebody from Montpellier, France. Jovanovic Bostia. Hopefully I told your name correctly, but merci beaucoup. Jigs, drums. See, it does help to be familiar with samba telek-tek rhythms. Yes, it does. Telek-tek is that groove that you know. The whole idea of this approach is that the melodies are active, as I say, active enough to carry a groove, and that's the beauty of it. You just kind of partake on it. You just keep the melody in the foreground with the bass, and the middle layer comes in just like to reinforce the melody and give support. And then whenever the melody is out or long, then you support more with the groove that we just talked about, the samba groove in this case. Right? But let me play along this this whole approach. So whenever you hear the melody being long, I am playing the groove. Otherwise, there's no groove involved. I mean, it is groovy, but I'm not thinking of a groove. I'm not playing a groove. I'm playing the melody. Literally, the melody is carrying the groove. So 1 and 2. Play the whole Triste now. Triste from beginning to end with this approach. It's literally playing the melody and then playing grooves when the melody is resting. That's it. This system works and it's very simple and effective. You don't have to be thinking, because there's a lot of coordinating that you have to think about when you look at a chart. Melody and chords, what do I do? You know, I kind of know this groove, but like, what do I do with that? Just get all that aside. Just think in 3 layers: melody, bottom, and middle. Practice the melody against the bottom. That's it. You have to practice that. If you don't have that sort of machinery working as a well-oiled machine, if you will, like bottom and top, like this, 1, 2, start with that. That's all you have to do. Then the middle, 1, 2. The middle is just splashing some of the rest of the chord in a few moments, and you decide where you want to put the chord. In this case, I'm using this chord, right? Let me see if I can talk and do it. 1, 2, This was when the chord come in, right? And I don't even call chord, right? Because remember, I'm trying to like separate the concept of the chord into layers. The middle layer are the notes from the chord, of course. But this middle layer sometimes are 2 notes, 1 note, 3 notes. That's why I don't want to call a chord. It's just notes that complement them and forms the chord, of course, right? Right? That's it. That's very simple approach, and it just works. Some comments here. She adored Triste, Jobim. I adore Jobim too. That's why we're talking about Triste here. Merci. Jerry, love this. Could you tell the names of the chord as you were playing? Yes, Jerry. Let me tell you the names of the chords. So right now I'm using A major 9, right? I love this voice. It's quite simple and ringy, and A major 9. Then F major 7, simple. By the way, don't be fooled by the 7 string, right? This is a 7 string guitar, so I have extra string here. So when I say F major, this is the 6th string, right? This is most people will have that as the last, your kind of lower string, the bottom, right? I have this one here because it's 7, so don't be deceived by that. So A major, then F major. I am using a B flat 9 after that here. Some people don't do it. I do it. And then back to A major. You can do C sharp minor 7 or half diminished if you want, F sharp 7 sharp 5, and then B minor 7. That's a 2-5 to F sharp minor, right? Go here, and then you have G sharp 13, then C sharp 9, major 9. That's kind of what I'm doing. But the tricky chords that I was using here is when you come back, that's a A diminished major 7, then back to A minor, A major, then it's a D sus D13, right? Because I'm using the sus 4, 7, 13, 9, so right? Then back here, then E minor, A7, then that's the sharp, so subdominant sharp 1 I was talking about, ultra chord. Instead of D major 7, that's a D sharp half diminished or minor 7 flat 5. Then D minor 6. Then you got that diminished. The melody is B, so that's a C diminished major 7. And then if you want to do Jobim's version, he does 9 sus 4, then sus 4 flat 9, and then I go to F major, right? The Herbie Hancock trick I talked about in the beginning of the live, I will repeat for those who just got here, is instead of A major, is G sharp altered, right? Sharp 9, G9, sus 13, whatever. Then F sharp 9, 11, sharp 11, minor 11. It's a tonil ortho voicing, right? You get the B open and E minor. Those are some of the chords that I used. Jerry, they asked that. We got Taylor, pianist here, trying to steal some guitar tricks. So I hope you got some, brother. Pretty, you know, a bunch of tricks here to be used. So steal away. Tatiane, olá, tudo bem, Tatiane? Como é que você tá? Obrigado por você estar aqui. Se você tiver alguma pergunta, alguma coisa que você queira saber, por favor, fique à vontade para perguntar. Estamos aqui. This is great, isn't it? It is great, man. Yeah, so with the harmonies that I use, you have basically, just to kind of sum up, right, what we talk about here today, is when you look at a lead sheet, melody and chords, the way I teach people is a 3-layer approach instead of 2. Just thinking, instead of 2-dimensional melody and chords, I think 3D, 3-dimensional. Top layer, bottom layer, middle. Melody and bottom layer, usually melody and bass, right? Playing together. You have to start there, create the foundation there. The framework is playing those together. This, right? Then the middle comes in. Just sprinkling some harmony in there. The melody is carrying the groove, and then the moment the melody rests or gets long, you bring the groove. In this case, it was the samba groove. Groove, melody, groove, melody. All melody. Just now, melody, groove, chord, groove. You see that in I guess 85% of what I just played, I wasn't thinking of any grooves. I just follow the melody, right? Meaning the melody, again, carries enough rhythmic information to get the groove going. So in this approach, the melody is the groove. And that's, that's the core of the system that I teach, that I figure out. This 3-layer system, aka sambafying. And we're gonna see in all the songs next week. I'm gonna be here every Saturday now, hopefully every Saturday. But I will always pick one song to play, and then start messing around with this system, and then kind of tell you guys. If you just got here, I want to say 2 things. One is that a lot of this content, a lot of these parts and grooves and things, I always have I have a group on Facebook which is free, Brazilian Guitar, Contemporary Brazilian Guitar Master Group, and you can access this group with this link here. Just enter there and join. Have to answer a few questions, but I post there's a lot of content there, like top-notch stuff like that I teach, that you won't see anyone teaching this anywhere. Go to the group, sign on there, it's free, and then you see there's tons of stuff there, PDFs, play-alongs that I'm posting. I'm only posting this type of content there. If you like to be a little more, if you're super interested and really want to learn this system from me, I do have the Brazilian Guitar Institute, which you can access from this link. Right now, I'm finishing touches to open for the general public. Right now, I only had 15 students when I started out, and that was it. So they were with me for a year, and now we're still working together, but I'm gonna open up the program for everybody else now, and you have to have a Zoom call and talk and everything and talk about the program. But this is the stuff that I teach there. So you have studying with me, just basically mentoring you for an entire year. And if you access this site, there's a waiting list, because I'm just gathering people who are interested. I'm putting the final touches on it, and I will open up for the general public soon, but I will contact the people in the list first to get a Zoom call and then see if you're fit for the program. But that's the stuff we're gonna look into. You're gonna learn this from step 1 to step 50 or whatever. The cool thing about this system that I figured out, the 3-layer system that I call the sambafying system, is that I can take any song. It's not like a Brazilian thing. A Brazilian thing is right away easy to do because the melody is ready. It's ripe for sambification. It's ready. But I can take any song, and make it like that. Let's out of the blue here, some song. Stink. Every little thing she does is magic, right? So let me see. Something like that, right? That's the song. Let me sambafy that song. 1, 2, 1. I just did it. I just used the system. It just works. Every little thing she does is magic. Just became a cool bossa nova thing. Anything. Happy birthday to you. When I hear that, a sambified. There we go. 1, 2. So, happy birthday to you, Samba Fight. BrazilianGuitarInstitute.com. It's gonna open soon for the general public. We have 15 lucky guys from last year working with me, but that can be you if you want to work with me for an entire year and have access to tons of stuff. We can talk more, but get into the list if you feel like it. If you want to start right away getting some great content, go to the Facebook group. Just type this in. It's called Contemporary Brazilian Guitar Mastery Group. Go there. There's some questions you have to answer. You get in. It's free. There's tons of stuff there. I've seen people who are there. Like, comment here what is inside that group. I know. I just saw some people here that inside the group. Comment here or put the comment like what is inside that group. Let me get to some questions here. Danielle, thank you. Thank you so much, brother. Douglas. Yeah, the melody is the engine. Let me put this here somewhere so I can get your comment better. Let me actually move this a little bit up and then put your comment here. Douglas, the melody is the engine of the train. It pulls the train. The bass is the caboose. The chords are the train cart. Exactly. You can think like that. That's a great analogy. Douglas is in that group, in the Facebook group. Tell us, Douglas, what the content we have there in that group, if it's cool or not. Just sign up. I have always been here watching YouTube. Oh, thanks, brother. And I'll be here for sure. Renata, so the bass notes are going to determine the chord voicings we use to support the melody, meaning if we need to use an inversion, for example. Yes, Renata, totally. Let me show you a little bit this idea. Let me put this in the right place here. So the way, Renata, the way I am basing everything is there is some kind of version or charts that you having to reference, right? So I'm using this Jobim songbook, right? So I use this in the actual original chart is an F major sharp 11 over A. That's kind of the original. You can play that one. I'm using F major and B flat 9. Just because it's easy to make the groove happen a little bit better. But I can play, I can make the layer stuff with both versions. You know, if I use F major and B flat, I'll go 1, 2, right? If I have that other version with this chord, I just keep A on the bass. So 1, 2, E, right? If I put the chords in, remember the melody will belong there, right? It will become long, and then I play the groove. I'll play the groove there with this chord instead of this, right? So I'll play both times. 1, groove. Now with the second version. 1 and 2. See? Let's see another part here. If I want to use, let's say, the Herbie changes, the Herbie Hancock cool hip changes there, I am going to put the bass, is the same work, but now with those basses I'm using, right? Instead of using right, I'm going to use now when I work the layers, I'm gonna use this bass. So there's gonna be 1, 2, E, 1, 2. Right, then I put together 1 and 2. Sorry, 1 and 2. bass. So if I use this, but to answer the question, straightforward, yes. Whatever the bass or the inversion, if you want to use an inversion like we did here, that bass will inform your work into the top melody and the bottom layer, right? Hopefully I answered the question. Gets a few more comments here. Reggie, thank you, my friend. Reggie is a student of ours in the Institute, so he definitely knows what's up on these materials. Sergio, hello from Sicily. Grazie. Man, going to Italy, to Sicily, it's been on my bucket list for a long time. I not only want to visit, but if I get to play, that would be amazing in Sicily. I hope I can make that happen one day, my friend. Amadeo. Man, I never know your right name. How to say your name in Italian. Shall we ever see you here in Italy? Yes, I think you will still meet in Italy. I just talked about Sicily, right? I am trying to go to Italy so badly to play. I'm working on it. Hopefully it will happen soon. And thank you again, my friend. So you guys have any questions about this? Before I go, I'll probably have to get going for today, but I'll be back next week. One thing, ask whatever you want right now. Also, if you have a suggestion of a song that you want me to work on next week, you know, to apply the method, like the layering, the sambifying, I'm happy to look at it. If you have any questions also for anything we talked about today, feel free to write them here right now. I'm gonna put them here. One more time, if you want to be in the waiting list for the Institute, this is the link, BrazilianGuitarInstitute.com. You're going to be on a waiting list. I'm going to contact you soon to set up a Zoom call, see if you're fit for the program, but that's a comprehensive program where you learn that. You know, learn how to take any melody and sambify and then have fun with it. It's a waiting list. I'm going to contact you soon. Also, if you want great, awesome free content, it's here on the Facebook group that we have, and that's going on. Contemporary Brazilian Guitar Mastery Group, that's the name of the group. But you can type that, and then you find the group. There's entrance questions there, and then you get in. Believe me, it's great. People here on the chat have been in the group, so they can vouch for it. Let me see, I have another question here by Jerry. How about lesson on Valsa by João? Is that João Gilberto? I have to look it up. I don't know which song is that. Valsa. I have to look it up. Can you send me the name, just Valsa? Is that João by João Gilberto? I'll look it up for sure. Ramon, saludos from Puerto Rico. Gracias, my friend. Thanks for being here with us. Teach us jazz. There was a little bit of jazz today here, my friend. I do have a lot of content on jazz on my YouTube channel, which hopefully where you are right now watching. So if you go to my channel where you are, to my Speaking of Harmony podcast, there's a video podcast and audio podcast. I talk tons about jazz, Brazilian guitar too, but jazz a lot. I also teach jazz in 3 universities here in Colorado, so you can come here and study with me. But thanks for being here, brother. What else you guys have questions about Triste? Look who's here. My brother, Peter Stolzman. Turn a pop, turn into Brazilian style. Yes, that's basically the bulk of the program, my brother. I just played every little thing she does is magic. I just did it. I turn a pop tune into Brazilian style, right? It works every time. You can do, let's say, let me get another one here to show a little bit. Obrigado a você, Renata. Obrigado, querida, por você estar aqui. A semana que vem estarei de volta. E se tiver mais perguntas, por favor, fique à vontade, tá bom? Obrigado por você estar aqui. So, pop tune. that one. Right? So, Can't Help It, right? That's Michael's famous one. I don't know if he composed it, but he recorded, right? So, Can't Help It. Right? So, Can't Help It. I can sambafy it. Let's see. The melody, if I kind of do funk and stuff, we'll be like. If I sambafy, I'll get 1, 2, 1. So, talking about the approach from earlier, melody and bass together. That's the first step. 1, 2, 1, and 2. Right? Yeah, Steve Wonder, obviously. So, the layer approach. Then put in the middle. Again, the middle is informed by the activity of the layer top, the melody. So 1. There we go. Can't Help It, sambafied, right there. Bonjour. Mercy, thank you so much for being here from France. Let me see. Chovendo na Roseira, Renata, that's a great one, é uma boa. Em 3, essa é samba em 3. Samba in 3, another thing. And that group, by the way, Renata, the group, I have a great lesson on Samba in 3 with PDFs and play-alongs. Samba in 3, tem lá no grupo, hein? Let me see. Como é que vai você? André, tem tempo que a gente não se vê. Como pensar em substituições de acordes utilizando escalas modais? She's asking how to think of chord substitutions utilizing modal scales. Let me pensar na tua pergunta. Eu não estou entendendo muito o que você quer dizer. Mas pensar em substituições de acordes. Eu acho, I think you can think of, I think she's talking about playing different chords that comes from different modes, I guess. Chords diferentes que vêm de modos diferentes. Talvez é o que você esteja perguntando. If that is, you have to look at the harmony of different modes, right? A harmonia de outros modos. Então, por exemplo, o modo menor natural, por exemplo. For instance, the natural minor. You can take a lot of chords from it, right? Você pode pegar muitos acordes do modo menor natural. For instance, if you are in A minor, se você estiver em Lá menor e você estiver pensando em harmônico, né? Menor harmônica, harmonic minor, you have the 7th degree resolving like a leading tone here, and you have the 6th degree and the diminished chord. Sai no modo menor harmônico, você tem o Fá com a sexta menor, Fá maior, Sol sustenido diminuto, né? Se você pensar no modo natural, in the natural minor, the G is just a regular G, not G sharp diminished, it's just regular G major. if you put the seventh, se você botar a sétima, é um dominante, certo? Então você tem isso e isso. You have this. So you can think of something like this, like me. Se eu tocar aqui uma coisa em samba, usando o menor natural, ou menor harmônico, menor natural. I'm going to play something playing the melodic minor, harmonic minor kind of progression, and then going with some borrow chord from the natural minor. So it'll be 1, 2, 1, right, A minor, F major, G sharp diminished, right? Now, natural minor. If I put a sétima, I can do sus as well, by the way, right? Because it's dominant, I can do this. So, eu posso botar um sus aqui também, um sus 4. Right? Aquela música do Ed Mota, já que você está perguntando, tem esse acorde aqui, ó. Famous song in Brazil. So it's a major key, but he's using both 6 and 7, right? Chord 6 and chord 7 from the natural minor in a major key. Right? Aqui tá um exemplo prático. Pode falar mais disso depois. Mas aqui tem um exemplo. Here's an example of that. Obrigado por ter perguntado. Bom te ver. Okay, who else has some questions here? Rafael. Seu anelar tá tocando a melodia sozinho. He's asking if anelar é esse, né? O do anel, né? He's asking if this finger is playing the melody by itself or I am alternating with this finger, right? The M finger. Depende, Rafael. Depende da música. Depende da complexidade da melodia. It depends on the melody, the complexity of it. Mas Triste, essa versão, this one we're playing, I am mostly playing with this finger. Yes, most of the time. A maioria das vezes estou usando, tá? Mas aqui, ó, eu já estou trocando, ó. I'm changing here. So a melody. If I'm playing, se eu estou tocando com os acordes, obviamente eu estou ocupado aqui, então eu tenho que usar. I have to use this finger if I'm occupied, busy with this. Mas aqui eu estou usando o médio. I'm using this finger here. Quando a melodia está no meio, aqui na meiuca, aí eu uso o médio. When the melody moves to the middle, I'm using this finger. So, slow. 1, 2. Viu? Aqui, here, I put the middle finger here. Acho que respondi, né? Maioria, se você está ocupado com os acordes, ele vai usar o anelar bastante. If you're busy with the chords inside, then the ring finger for sure. Sérgio, I'm studying now Alagoas by Djavan, version by Teca. Djavan is, anything by Djavan is awesome. I love Djavan so much. Great. I love Djavan music. A bunch of sambas, they're classics. Great. I play a lot of Djavan. All right. Any more questions, everybody? I think it's getting time for me to go. 1 hour and a half. Wow. Okay. Not bad for the first meeting, eh? One more. If you have one more last question, I'll take that, and then I'll say hi, bye for now. Yes, Renata, anything by Jobim, it's great. So one more time, if you want to study this stuff, really, if you're interested in knowing how to do this stuff, step by step, BrazilianGuitarInstitute.com. That's a waiting list from me. I'm going to contact you soon. I'm opening for the general public really soon. So get on that waiting list. Also, if you want great content that I share a lot with some frequency, there is a lot there. It's our Facebook group. You can get in there. Type this in. Is a Brazilian contemporary Brazilian guitar master group. That's the name of the group. In this address, at this address, you'll find it. And there's tons of great content there. Some people here in the group, they know what I'm talking about. If you don't have any more questions, I'll say bye for now. It's been great to be with you guys here on this Saturday, beautiful Saturday morning over here, listing where I am, right? Some people are in India, some people are in other places, France. I know it's already late there. Thank you for sticking around here and being with me. I will be here next Saturday, the same time. I got a few suggestions on songs. I'm going to look it up, but we're definitely going to be looking at another song. I hope you got a lot of information about Triste. That live will be available. I will be uploading this entire live into my other YouTube channel, Brazilian Guitar Institute, on YouTube. Subscribe to that channel as well, because that live is going to be uploaded there. I will take that out of my channel and then upload that to the Brazilian Guitar Institute channel. You can review that here, over there. You can follow me over here. Right, this is my Instagram stuff, Gabriel, on Instagram, and the Brazilian Guitar Institute, because I'm going to start posting a lot of content there as well. Some clips from this live will be there, hopefully. Steve Wonder. Which one are you referring to it, brother? Which one was this? I don't speak a lot of French, so I didn't get what you meant. I'm sorry. Please tell me again. I'll address it. Ted, thank you. Aloha to you as well. All right, everybody. It was great being with you today. I hope you got a lot out of it. A lot of tricks from Triste. There was a pianist here, so I hope you stole some tricks from the harmony. And I'll see you guys next Saturday on the next one. Okay, thank you so much. Oh, I think a tune. So the tune Avanti Partir. I have to take a look at that one from Steve Wonder. I promise I'll take a look and see if I can address it next week. Okay, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you guys next Saturday, the same time. Thank you.